All right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for stopping by today. I'm really excited to share these tools with you. I think that they're a lot of fun. There's a lot of potential here for making our lives easier as teachers and really getting some good information from the kids and having them create stuff along the way. As you saw with that Flipgrid activity that we did earlier. So I am going to start sharing my screen. Feel free to minimize yours, whatever, if you want to follow along and do the same sorts of things, just to play along, whatever it might be. But we're going to start with Flipgrid. And so here we
He left.
I thought it was me. Okay. Okay, dumb question. I've tried getting everybody on the screen by hitting the change the layout. Are you guys seeing absolutely everybody? Yeah. Okay, and it's me. Okay.
How do you chat on Google Meet when you're looking at the screen? I see 3 dots on the upper right. I see the number 9 with two people. Anyone know how you chat with different people in the group?
Click on the chat. Do you have the chat there?
I don't see a chat button anywhere. What's the chat look like?
It's just like a text.
It looks like a keyboard. It just it's a text box, but it's got 3 lines in it in the upper right corner, Jim. You see it?
All right, there we go. So I saw it. It had the number 1 next to it. Okay, so I see that Dan, Nancy, and Nancy put in send a message to everybody.
Yeah. So,
all right. Thank you. Thank you. Switch camera, turn on captions, present the screen, adjust for light, reported views, help.
Can we only send a message to everybody?
I think that's how he's got it set, yes.
yeah.
Oh, he has it set that way. Okay.
I assume so.
All right.
I wondered that same thing, Sarah, because I was going to test messaging you just to see if you can do one person, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
It says it's still recording.
Mm-hmm. This will be fun for everybody who watches it after.
He's downstairs telling his kids to get off the internet,
Right.
shut down their Xboxes.
So if there were more people on this, right? You know how with Zoom, the arrows on the right and left allow you to see, you know, if you have 27
multiple
kids in the class, how do you in Google Meet? I've never used Google Meet. How do you see, like, I don't see any right or left arrows. So if there were 27 kids in the class, how do I then go see who else is here?
We might not have enough people to show that feature. That's why.
Okay.
Because like if you're on a Zoom meeting and it was only this many people, there wouldn't be arrows either.
But then when Dan was back on, I still couldn't. So I thought, all right, so how, you know, with Zoom, I think you can see, is it 15 or how many, I can't remember. No, I can see, no, because I can see my whole class. I think it's like 21 you can see in the screen or so. But I didn't know with Google Meet.
There usually is a grid, but I don't see how you're viewing things on the top.
Yeah, Nance, I did that. Thank you. That's actually, but I still was just wondering.
Oh.
I just was wondering for if I use Google Meet, how do I then flip between all the other screens to see more kids?
I don't know. I usually just hit people and you can scroll down. And I can't remember because I don't know that I've had more than 10 people on Google Meet. So
I just looked it up. You can do 16 people in one grid.
Okay, thank you both.
Does anybody have his email or text?
Yeah, I can text him. I'll tell him everybody's leaving, so hurry up.
Sarah, on my screen, you and I are the only two that are live video. Everybody else is just like a Photoshop of their face on my setup. I know that at one meeting we had, they said, please, I think it was Kim Croto said, take your video off because it'll use less bandwidth, which is obviously, this is a great example of why that could be an issue. How do we make it so that Joe Colbert can't see me? He can just see my school photo that's there and use less. Does anyone know how to do that on Google Meets?
Don't you just hit off the recording? Like down, if you look at the bottom where the mic is, and there's also a video.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Boom. There you go. Oh, I got to change that picture.
Okay, not that I want my face on this screen, but you know how when you Zoom, not that I like seeing myself, but you can see that you're on. Do I just have my name across? Because I enabled my camera, but I don't see myself. Not that I want to see myself, but I want to know if I did something wrong.
If you close out, Kathy, do you have the chat window open?
Yes.
If you close out the chat window, then you can see yourself. You come up in the corner.
Okay, I don't want to see myself, but I didn't know. I enabled my camera, but then if Jim said none of us have our cameras going, I was wondering if I messed up.
It's a big K.
Oh, it is? I have camera turn off. I have my camera on. And I did something wrong.
No, if your camera's off, it would just see, sometimes it's a photo, sometimes it's an initial. It depends on how you set it up initially.
No, my camera's on though. That's what's weird.
Oh, that is weird.
I'll ask Dan.
You want a Chromebook, Kathy, or you want what do you want?
I'm on my laptop. I have a giant size laptop for, the vision impaired. And I enabled the camera. when it asked on Flipgrid if I wanted to allow everything, and I always have my camera on, or just if I'm in a Zoom meeting, like Sarah and I, we've been in Zoom meetings all summer. But I don't know why it's telling me my camera's on. But apparently,
Dan had no idea he's out of the meeting.
oh geez.
I asked him if we could do anything. He's like, why?
He's been just talking for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's like, gosh, they're so into what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Well, set up a Zoom link.
Kathy, what if you shut your camera off? What does it look like? Just hit the camera off. See if it changes.
I did.
And, okay.
It changed.
No, it's still the same thing.
Camera's back on.
That's weird.
Is it still okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Darn it. I don't know.
Okay, he's back.
There he is.
Welcome back. You're muted.
I hear you.
The Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. Discuss. I hope you had time to discuss that while I was gone. I love my children. I do. They're all so much fun. I hope they're off the Wi-Fi now and we can try this again. Sorry about that. So where did I leave off?
You didn't get really started. So.
I didn't really get started. Even better. Okay, well, take two. All right, let's try this again. We're going to jump into Flipgrid first. I got to practice all of my stuff with you, all on my own. All right. So, sorry, everybody. Flipgrid.com. If I go to log in. Again, feel free to minimize me or to add this tab in if you want to follow along. Do it on your own, whatever it might be. All right, you're going to log in with Google. All the tools that we're using today, Flipgrid, EdPuzzle, and Adobe Spark, all have Google login options that will connect right with your Triton Schools account. So no need to worry about that. Okay. Are we good with the Flipgrid screen? Hopefully it's there. Your groups are your classes. Okay, they used to be the August 5th, Flipgrid changed or added all sorts of tools, whatever it might be. So your groups are your classes. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and we're all middle school, high school teachers here. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is create a group for yourself. Okay. No different than using anything else. I can choose to make it public if I want to. But at this point, I'll probably work to just keep this private. The students are going to get a join code, just like they do in Google Classroom. All right, you're going to share that with them. When they join your group, you're going to do it through, or they're going to be able to do it through their student email. Okay. And what that's going to do is when you add your students, you can see that it says tritonschools.org there. You're going to want to make sure you add in tritonstudents.org so that they can join without a problem. You can, if you want to, add individual email addresses. If you were bringing in a guest lecturer or something like that, you can add their email in and you could give them a password to get themselves into the group, whatever it might be. You can invite families in to see it, which I wouldn't recommend right away, whatever it might be. Okay. So I click next. I'm not worried about duplicating topics at the moment, although I could if I wanted to. Here are topics that I've done already. I could choose either of those if I wanted to, but for now I'm just going to skip that. All right. There's the group, the join code. You can share it with them through a QR code, that funky picture. You can embed it somewhere. You can use Google Classroom. I know that some of you use Remind with your students. It's a great way to go as well. All right, so at the moment, we're going to just go to the group, whatever it might be. Okay, your topics are your assignments. All right, so your groups are your classes, your topics are your assignment. You want to add a topic. It's fairly intuitive and straightforward. I might just call this introduce yourself. This is going to be a prompt. Introduce yourself to Mr. Boyle using the name that you would like to be called in class and something that you are excited about for this year. Okay. I can limit the amount of time that they have to record their video, record themselves. Each of you, when you made your introduction to this, you got 1 minute and 30 seconds. None of you took more than 30 or 45 seconds. These are really your only, you don't get to add in like, okay, I want it to be 20 seconds long. These are all preset times. I would encourage you to use video moderation to start, especially as the students are probably new to this tool. And I think it will help give them some level of comfort that they know that their classmates aren't going to see them right away along the way. All right. There's some way you want to engage your students with a video. You can record one, upload one, find one from YouTube or Vimeo, an image, a Giphy, which I might just say, introduction. Maybe I decide, all right, I like the Austin Powers idea, so I'm going to select that. I can delete it once I do, and then it goes back to the beginning. Okay. More options. Again, this is something that they keep adding here. You can add a link, whatever it might be. Topic status. Do you want, if it's active, they're going to be able to use it. If it's frozen, they're going to be able to see it but not use it. Hidden means it doesn't exist to them. Just like in Google Classroom, you can schedule dates for it to start or for it to end. You can decide when you want notifications about the videos that are submitted. Do you want something every day, every week, every time there's a new video, whatever it might be? Do I want students to be able to download and share their videos? Probably not right now. All right. Video features, and we'll talk more about the selfies and things like that in a second. Or do I want them at the end when they create a video, they're going to be able to take a picture of themselves? Do I want just the video? Do I not want anything? Can they edit their video? Sure, they can edit their video. That's fine. Do I want them to include a link? No, I don't think so. Video comments? Sure. But I'm not a fan of the video count. Just like likes, I think that kind of becomes, oh, I had 20 views and you only had 10 views, something like that. And then sticky notes while they're recording. Feedback, all of you should have got an email from me with typed feedback. You can record video feedback if you want to. If you want to include a rubric as to how the students are going to be assessed on their video, you can do that as well. For me, this is going to be a lot of formative assessment. I don't know that I'm going to be doing really any kind of summative assessment with Flipgrid. So I don't know how many rubrics I'd need, but certainly I would want to provide some basic feedback about where they're at along the way. And then I create the topic. All right. It gives me a link. Again, I can share it with all of those same places that I did before. And here is my topic. All right. This join code, you're going to be able to see what the students see. So it gives you the student view of this as well. Okay, whatever it might be. Although the options are the same. Right? When you're recording a video or your students are recording a video, the options are going to be the same for them as they are for you. All right, but we'll just keep that open. All right, so if I'm going to record a response, this is where the fun part of Flipgrid comes in, and I hope, looks like I'm still recording them all still there. Okay. So here I am. Hello again, everybody. I can record myself doing what I want, or saying, you know, hi, I'm Mr. Boyle, I'm Dan Boyle, whatever it is. The options, I can upload a clip. I can mirror my video, whatever it might be. All right, I can mute the audio, or I can do a screen recording if I want to. Again, if you were making you could make a screencast out of this if you wanted to. The effects are definitely the fun part of using Flipgrid. All right, the first one are the filters. And I can choose when I'm recording the video to go with a rainbow background. Okay, whatever it might be. I can choose to go sort of that black and white look. What's that one? The super black and white. Ooh. Or, and this is maybe really important, especially for middle school kids or students who are a little camera shy. They can pixelate themselves as they record what they're doing. I don't know that I would necessarily feel 100% comfortable letting them do this, especially at the beginning, because I really feel like they should learn to start getting comfortable in front of a camera, speaking to people. But you may have students, for whatever reason, they just don't feel comfortable in front of the camera or seeing themselves on camera, and so they can pixel themselves right out. Okay. Oops, back. Okay. I can frame my video however I want to with that neon purple or kind of like a Polaroid picture. Okay. A breaking news headline, whatever it might be. The emoji one, I got to go back to filters for a second. Sorry, hold on. Because I want to put my face back on the screen. Come here. Okay. The emoji option does just what it sounds like it's going to do, hopefully. Come on. All right, it's going to give me all sorts of options here. And whether it's people, all right, I can decide if I want to put a pair of sunglasses on. And given that I'm trying to record and do that at the same time, it's going to take a second for that to happen. There they are. I can put them on. I can shrink them, right? However I want to do it. Great. Throw them away. You can make sure you can have them pop up right in front of you as you go here. Okay, let's go back. Come on. You can type in text. You can draw and And this is going to be the important thing here, because one of the things that Flipgrid added is this idea of a board. So I can take a whiteboard here, all right, and I can split my screen with that option, okay? And then what I can do is I can go back and I can use the draw function to, or even the text function, but I'm going to use the draw function, okay? And I'm going to write in things that I want to draw in, whatever it might be. This could be particularly good in a math class, something like that, where you want them to draw in an equation or a solution, whatever it might be. You can make the board, you can have it be the whole screen if you want, just a small portion of the screen, whatever it might be. And again, you have different options here. All right, it could be the Starry Night, it could be a rainbow. There's graph paper, there's dot paper, there's graph paper. All right, there's tablet paper. There are all sorts of options available to you there along the way. Okay. And if you want to, you can upload a photo, an image, whatever it might be. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my board here. And I'm going to, oops, I don't want a board. Get rid of the board. Trash all of this. Just taking far too long, but that's okay. So those are the effects that you can use. In the upper right-hand corner here, there are two really important tools. One of them is the prompt, right? So if they've forgotten what the prompt is, they can just click it right there. What may be even better for some of them is to add a sticky note. So I want to make sure that I pronounce my name the right way. What am I excited for? I'm excited for the opportunity to learn in different ways, so that when they're recording their option, that sticky note is there in front of them, but it does not get recorded on the screen, right? So it's sort of a prompt just for them to help keep their thoughts straight, whatever it might be. It's a really nice feature, I think, for them along the way. Okay, so I record myself, it counts down. Hi, I'm Mr. Boyle, and I'm really excited for the opportunity to learn all sorts of new things this coming year. I hit next. Hi, I'm Mr. Boyle, and I'm really excited for the opportunity to learn all sorts of new things this coming year. All right, if I decided there was part of it I didn't like, I could get rid of it, but I like it, so I'm going to hit next. Now it's going to ask me to take a selfie that I may or may not like. If I'm not happy with it, same rules apply. Okay, it's fine, whatever. Everything's uploading. I submit it. And there it is. All right. What's important here is they will see if they've created a response, right? Your video will be hidden until approved by your educator, so they can see that something's been turned in. How many times do we hear from, oh, I know I turned it in, I know I turned it in, when it didn't happen that way or whatever, they really didn't. At least this gives them a visual indication that, yes, you did turn something in and it will be there as soon as your teacher approves it. Okay? All right. So now we've got our video, whatever it might be. But I'm going to go all the way back here to what we talked about, to our videos earlier. All right, and the last thing that I just want to show you is that all of you could go back to this link now. All right, and you would see everybody's response. Yep, that's me. Okay. Come on. All right, and I can see everybody's responses there. I can make comments, as I did with you. I can make them video comments. I can make them private comments, whatever it might be, along the way. Okay. Which again, once you see that, it's fairly straightforward. You get indications. Are they active or are they hidden? Do I want to share them? There's the link for Max that if I wanted to share with all of you, I certainly could. Don't worry, Mac. I'm not sharing it. All right. Actions. Okay. These are all things that when you have time, you can play with along the way. Okay. All right. I'm going to come back here. Can I upload a Google slide to that? Sure. What I would have to do first, Mac, is make it download the slide as an image, right, as a PNG or a JPEG file, and then I could turn it around and upload an image from a Google slide for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a really good question because I know a lot of us are going to be using Google slide presentations along the way. Okay. Anybody with other questions before we move on? I know this is going fast and furious. I know. I apologize for that. Hi, Gideon. I apologize for that.
Wait, Dan, can I ask you a quick question? If a student sends you, a video that you are finding, not that my students would, but you just are like, yeah, no, this was garbage or not appropriate. Can you respond right away to them? Or you just have to go through email to the kid?
No, you can absolutely, can you, so they post something and you're moderating it and you watch it before you post it.
Right.
Can you respond? You can delete it right away if you want to, for sure.
Can you then tell them why? Like, you know what, this wasn't what I asked for. This was 10 seconds of garbage. Can you respond? And
So so is it real time? No, my guess is it's more asynchronous than anything else.
Okay.
Let's do it this way. Sorry, hold on. Oh, sorry, hold on, I'm going back.
Okay, thank you.
No, that's fine. I have to be honest, Kathy, I haven't gone through all of that part yet.
This is Dan Boyle. I'm excited to be able to bring.
But if I click on feedback, right, there are only private comments. If I go to actions, what is that going to do for me? Come on. I think the only thing that I could do would be delete it right away, Kath.
Okay. Okay. But I can then tell them. But I can respond.
I could keep it, but I think I would keep it hidden. Right? If you really thought it was bad and you didn't have access to them right away, I would keep it hidden. And then I would start a conversation with them that said, the next time I saw them or through a comment, because the comments you can email back right away.
Okay.
And we know they're going to they may not check their emails right away, but you can at least start a conversation through email that then you continue the next day in class.
Okay.
Something like that.
I wasn't sure and I'm sorry with my questions, but I wasn't sure if it was like the Remind app where you can send back an automatic response and it almost comes through like a text message to a student. So
no, I do not believe that it does. I think the only way to talk to them is through through email.
Okay, thank you. That's perfect.
You're welcome. And again, I think that the students, once you make them active, students can start having conversations with each other So you could have them, you could almost make this like a video blog or a vlog sort of thing where you have students all post an answer to the response, and then they say, okay, you now have to respond to one of your classmates. And if you want, you can assign that up front, whatever it might be, as a sort of discussion starter around a topic. Because we know that obviously face-to-face interaction for them is going to be difficult during the school day. And this may be a way to encourage them and help them do that as they go. All right. Any other Flipgrid questions before we move on to EdPuzzle? EdPuzzle is something that my students really liked. I only did one this spring with them because I was a little bit nervous about how it would work with them. But again, EdPuzzle, make any video your lesson. So I'm going to log in. I'm a teacher. Like the other options here, I'm going to sign in with my Triton account. Come on. All right, now you're on the My Content page. And I think that, again, EdPuzzle as secondary teachers, we may use a lot of video, even if they're our own videos, right? I know I've started making all sorts of screencasts for my classes. And so part of the videos that I use here could be my own, okay? Let's just start at the top here so I'm on the content page. Okay, I can search in content for any topic that I want. All right. I'm going to find something on the Gettysburg Address. Oh, I like this one, is one of my favorites. So I'm going to bring that in. Okay, and this is obviously someone's already done some work with this, which is fine. All right, I found somebody, I like this. What does this question say up here? All right, what's that point that they're making? Come on. And I can jump to that section of the video. Okay, and this is a question that this teacher asked the class as they were watching the video. All right, I didn't like that one. That's fine, whatever it might be. Okay. I have a gradebook option. Again, I can see grades. Based on what they've done. My classes, it links to Google Classroom, so you can import your classes from there right away if that's what you want to do. Not a big deal. But let's go back to content here. Excuse me for a second. Okay. And I want to go back to the Gettysburg Address. And I want to search for something. Okay. All right. I still like this video. So I'm going to come back here. It's going to open up. And now I want to edit it. And now I have options. And this is where the fun part of EdPuzzle really comes in. There's that question there. I want to edit. Nope, that's not what I want. Sorry. I want to cut this video, so I might decide I only want a certain piece.
Fourscore 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation.
Okay, so stop, hold on, pause. I want to add a cut here. And I know that I want to drag this back or I want to start my cut there and work from there. I don't like it. I'm going to undo it and reset. Okay, whatever it might be. Undo. Bring you back to the beginning. Okay. Again, I can stop here and I can add a voiceover. It's my own voice, whatever it might be. All right, it's going to record me along the way. This is the most important piece, I think, right, is I can add questions. So I can stop the video and I can ask a multiple choice question. All right. When was the Gettysburg Address delivered? And then I can put in options. 1863. All right, that's the right option. Or I can make it the wrong option if I want to and make this one the right option and say 1868. You know, it was 1863, so I'm not worried about that. I could add another choice. 1861. Then I'm finished. Okay. And when that video, why didn't that not work? Come on. Oh, I probably didn't save it. Sorry, my fault. Hold on. Let's try that again. The beauty of live television. All right, so let's try this again. When was the Gettysburg Address delivered? 1863, 1865. Great. I'm done. I save it. I finish. And so now when it gets to that portion of the video where that stop is, where I ask that question, the question's going to pop up. All right, they have the option. I can start again. All right, go from there. I know it's 1863. I submit my response. Yes, I got it right. I continue, and the video rolls on. Okay, I can pause again, whatever it might be. I can assign it to classes. I can add more questions. Okay, let's say that I want to add an open-ended question. What's going on at this part of the video? Play.
Here.
Okay. Continue.
Liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
All right. Well, there's a great place to stop given what we're doing here. So I want to make an open-ended question. What does it mean? Or what does Lincoln mean when he... Oh, what did Lincoln mean when he said all men are created equal? All right, I save it up. It stops for me. All right, great. That's what my question is going to look like. Do I want it there? Yes. Great. I can continue. Go along, add another question. When I finish, again, I'm going to play it through. Play. Great. Thanks. Submit. Continue. All right. I want to move a little bit further down the timeline here.
Conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Okay. And here's an option for me to go in and ask, answer the question with whatever it is. All right. It says skip.
Now we are engaged in a great civil war.
You're going to know if they skip the question. You can handle that however you would like to. But again, I think that all of us, because all of us are going to be using video at some point along the way, at least that's my guess. I think EdPuzzle could be a really nice feature for everybody to use. As I say, even if it's for videos that you create on your own along the way. The one problem with EdPuzzle is that you only get 20 videos in their free account. You can, and this is certainly what I have done, if you feel like you're running out of videos, if you delete one out, you get one back. So as long as there are no more than 20 videos in your queue, you can keep moving along and adding them along the way as you go. All right. It's fair. EdPuzzle is fairly straightforward. There is an option to have students curate their own videos. Again, not a bad option. If you asked a question like, hey, go find a video on the Gettysburg Address, great, you could certainly do that. And now you have a classroom set of videos all set, ready to go. It would, might help them search, learn how to do good searches, things like that. And you could assign that to a class and go from there. Okay. But I really like EdPuzzle as an option in our truly remote situation. I think it might be different if we were hybrid, but I think truly remote, I think EdPuzzle is going to be a really nice tool for us to use to make our jobs and our lives a little bit easier. Okay, questions as he goes at light speed to get to the last one? Nope, we're all good?
All good. This is
Go
great.
ahead, Kath.
No,
Oh, okay. All right, last one. And this is the one that I'm newest to. It's Adobe Spark. And this is one that I think, again, you're going to have all sorts of options here for formative assessment, for summative assessment, to really do things differently. Deb Jones is in the process of getting us a school account, which will open up all sorts of Adobe options to us that you may not have on a personal account. I took a couple of webinars with this over the summer, and everybody kept saying, you need a school account, you need a school account. Deb Jones has been swamped, obviously, with everything that's going on right now. So I reached out to her at the end of July, and I reached out to her last week. She's going to be working on this. It's free.
Ben?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Kathy, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. No, sorry. My son
Okay.
called me. Sorry, I thought I was muted. My son called me. Oops, sorry.
But for now, we're just going to continue with Google, just like everything else. Log in. Come on. And at some point here, it's going to open. All right. So again, their brand, they're going to be, if we were to get a school account or a district account, really is what it would be for everybody, a district account, they're all going to have the options to create their own brand, whatever that might be. There's going to be a school brand on it. So there's going to be lots of this. This is going to be great, really, for our high school kids as they're trying to figure out going forward what they represent, what they're all about. They're going to start to be able to kind of put themselves out there with all sorts of different creative tools that they want to make. Okay. Again, these tools here, these are all Spark options. Okay. They can decide to answer your prompt with an Instagram post like option. At some point. All right. Certainly, we know they certainly understand the concept of Instagram and how to use it, whatever it might be. You have options here again. Okay. You're creating your post. Okay. Great. You're not adding a brand. Let's go back. Come on. Okay. So what do I want to do? You know something? I want to keep introducing myself here. All right. So, oh, this looks pretty cool. I'm going to take this template, all right, and go from there. Come out of that. Okay. There we go. All right. So I want to take this template. I want to create with it. Or is it, oh, it's not letting me because it's, of course it is. Sorry. All right, we'll just take that because that's what they've got for now. Great, that's fine. Now, just because it's a template, right? So you can change whatever it is you want to change about this. As soon as it lets me. Okay. So you're going to be able to do whatever it is you want to do. You want to get rid of that. Oops, come here. Come on. All right, so there's the space for whatever it is. I want to get rid of the text box. All right, I can get rid of the text and start over again. Okay, so here it is. I've got my template, but I'm all the way back to the beginning. Okay, it's just a blank template. I want to add, let's see. I want to add a photo. You can take one from there. Okay, great. That's the picture I want to use. If I only want it in one spot, I can pin it there or I can move it freely to wherever I want to, but I'm going to pin it for now because I want it in that spot by itself. Okay. Now I want to add text. I have a template here that I can use, whatever it might be. And again, it's a template. So I can, oops. And I'm done. And there it's going to help me out, put all of that together. you can do a lot of different things, and there are all sorts of options. There's a they have, or they will have, if when we get the education account, they'll have all sorts of options for you to use. I don't want to search my project. Let's go back here. All right, they have all sorts of ideas that we're going to be able to have access to along the way. Sorry, I just want to show you some of them here. All right, sort of prepackaged lesson plans. Hey, have them create this, that, or the other thing. You know, here's a prompt. Here's a way to go. It's going to be similar in many ways to Flipgrid, but a little bit more creative in terms of how they want to share with you what they've learned along the way. And go from there. All right, so that's not going to help me. Okay. All right, so questions about Adobe Spark. I know that, as I say, I'm moving pretty quickly, because what I would like to do for the last half hour, which is what we've got left, is I'd love for you to choose one of the tools that we just talked about, either Flipgrid, EdPuzzle, or Adobe Spark. And while I'm here, create something with it. Create a class, create a video, whatever it might be, so that if you have questions, I can help you with them right now. Along the way, I'm going to turn off my recording.